Hello. So here is my little I'm actually at the halfway point, but here's my little update on the artist way and what has been happening, what is my experience and what I've learned. So today's Saturday, and I just read chapter 7 of The Artist Way. So I am halfway through because it is 12 weeks. So I have some thoughts. I think that you should definitely watch other people do The Artist Way before you do it, because there are things that I read but completely glossed over because of my bias. And I think the specific thing that if you've done The Artist Way, you know what I'm going to say, is the God portion, or the God portion of The Artist Way. Julia Cameron literally says you can replace God with good orderly direction, and it makes sense. So the sort of critique of it being God focused is she does offer that leeway. So I also have seen people with ADHD sort of talk about how it is kind of hard to do the artist way because of their executive functioning. Now, I have ADHD and I also suffer from executive functioning. I think that I don't want to deny anyone else's experience, but for me personally, I think that it's kind of the point. I think people without ADHD would also struggle doing this every day. I think that now I'm not an expert in ADHD, I just have it. I did go to therapy for it when I was younger, which I think also changes my perspective than I think a lot of other people who just maybe take medication or just found out that they have ADHD. But I think that it's kind of supposed to be a challenge, and I think people without ADHD will also find it challenging. I do think that that habit of doing it every day has not stuck for me at all yet, because I don't know, habits are kind of harder for me to stick with. But I am determined, and I do try to do it every day. I've noticed some things when writing. I definitely I don't let things go, and there's definitely things that have happened last semester that I always think about every single day for honestly the over a month I've been out of school, but kind of refuse to write about because I don't want to quote unquote give it energy. I've noticed that I do write about the same things over and over again. I haven't gone back and actually read my morning pages, but I've definitely from examining noticed that I do really not let go of certain things. I think when it comes to art, I'm not seeing much of a change, and my personal opinion is because I don't think I'm as blocked as I think I am. I do think I am blocked. I think we all have blockages in certain areas and things like that, but I don't think that I am. I think this week that I read is week 7. I think has really hit for me. Let me just open the book here. And it talks about perfectionism, which is something that I struggled with actually more than a year ago, really, which is why I actually started up therapy again, is because my perfectionism almost for lack of a better term killed me. I highlighted a lot in this section, but one part that I literally had to write down again, that I think is so important, is a normal part of creativity is letting go. And I think that's wowza. That's wowza. I've actually been kind of, I want to say, neglecting the artist dates. I've really been throwing away the artist dates, and I wonder if you want to psychoanalyze me and say that it's because maybe I don't put enough attention into me and myself, and that could be it. I just don't. I did do technically an artist date, is I made a painting, which I don't think I can show on the internet. I don't think I can show it. But I had an idea, and I took the day off, took the day off in the sense of not going on social media at all. Because I did have 5 migraines in 1 week, which is wild. I suffer from migraines, so, you know. And I just took the day off, and I just did the whole thing in a day, which also, like, reminded me that, like, I can do stuff, I can, like, make art in a day. Like, when I used to take art classes, which I don't anymore, because I finished all of them, at least for college, I did. At least for my associates, I did. You know, they would assign something once a week, and you had to do it, and I would do it. So I think also, like, in my free time, it's nice to sort of instill that I can do that. I can totally do that. So that's nice. I'm not really sure if I can really see a change yet. And I think maybe it's because I'm stuck in this part in my life, opening up here a little bit, where I live in my head, and that's why chapter 7 really hit for me, is because it talks about living in your head. And so I'm hoping that, like, the second half, I'll actually maybe be seeing a drastic change. I mean, I don't know why I thought that this book would change my life. I think it is changing things for me. And I think it's making me more, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it's not fair to say that there's no change, but I don't see a change, and I think that's okay. But I think it's very interesting. I'm having a fun time doing the tasks. I want to do the postcards. That was in, like, I think week 6. I just don't have stamps and envelopes, but I definitely want to get back to that, because, like, I can write some YouTubers I like to watch and stuff like that, and so I definitely want to do that, especially with, like, homemade cards that I made in art club, like, last year. I definitely want to, like, use those up. I've honestly, like, I'm not sure. But the book is very interesting, and I really want to do it again. I don't know if I'll do it right after I'm done, but I think I'll like, pick it up again, like, maybe next year, or maybe in a couple months I'll pick it up again. But it is interesting. I definitely think I'm gonna do more, like, artist dates. But I don't know. I feel like for artist dates, it's kind of like, what do you do? You know, what do I do? Just paint, I guess? Is that the date? I did, like, a sketchbook challenge for one of the dates. I did, like, my first artist date, I did a anti-racist journal entry, and things like that. You know, I don't know. But I think it's interesting. I think that I don't have a strong opinion on it yet because, well, one, I'm not done, and I think also I'm not really seeing a change or feeling a change. But I think it's very interesting, and I think that a lot of what she says in here is very affirming. And, you know, I really love the artist prayer that I came up with, and I kind of read that every day and things like that. And I've been zooming through notebooks. Okay, I'm on my second notebook, so there's that. But yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm gonna watch probably when I remember, because I don't remember anything to save my life, is to watch more people do the artist way and see what they come out of it. But I don't have, like, a come to the light moment, and I think that's okay. But I think that it is definitely, I think it's planting a seed of just, like, not positive affirmations, but, like, just, like, a more healthy mindset on what art is, what it can be, and, like, what you are. Like, I believe even before the book that, like, everyone is creative, and everyone has the capability of making art. Because art is not this, like, it's not this, like, behind this wall. Like, art is about expression and creativity, and everyone can do that and is capable of doing that. And I still think that, and I think the book definitely affirms that opinion and builds on it. But I'm not sure yet. I mean, I'm excited to finish, and, like, I really want to do it again. Maybe I would love to know, like, in 10 years, if I do it again, like, what am I gaining from it compared to now? You know, but I think it's definitely planting some seeds in my brain for me. And I think that's also great, you know. Um, my goal over the summer was to really build a strong portfolio for to transferring to 4-year because I'm in community college. And I think that, I thought the artist way would really like ricochet it off and help me do that. And I can't say it is or it isn't, but that was definitely the goal. And I don't think that's the goal. It seems like I'm gaining something separate that I'm not sure. And maybe I'm not gaining anything, and that's cool too. But that's really my thoughts. I just wanted to do it off the cusp. The critiques of like it's not the best for everybody. I think that how do I say? I think this might show my lack of knowledge on the topic when I say that I think that it definitely lacks a lot of intersectionality. I think, like, I don't know, I'm a little off-putted by the, like, this millionaire has it all except creativity, and so they did this book, and it helped them and stuff. And I don't know how to feel about stuff like that. I also, like, don't know how to feel. I feel, like, off-putted or, like, weirded out about, like, self-help books of, like, you need to save and instead of buying that new couch, why don't you buy that canvas and easel? And it's like, well... And I don't know, maybe there's nuances to that, but, like, I don't know how I feel about that. But I think in a book marketed to, like, to put your art first, it does make sense for that sort of to be in there. But I think the critiques of it maybe lacking some intersectionality, I think is important to acknowledge, even if I don't really understand it that well. It's definitely something that I'm like, I don't know about that. But, I mean, that's just my sort of experience with it. I mean, I think that's it. But I kind of wanted to shift and talk about the art that I'm doing. I don't know how much longer I have to talk, but we'll fucking figure it out. So this is a Suzanne Valadon inspired. Not inspired, but more like study. I love Suzanne Valadon. Definitely look her up. French painter. Surprise, surprise, when AFABs paint AFABs, they paint them not as object. And that was revolutionary. Which is so funny to say. It's so funny to say that. It's like, this woman paints women differently. What? So Suzanne Valadon is, like, known to use herself as, like, the subject for reference. I mean, that is definitely not necessarily confirmed. It's alleged, so I don't want to spread that misinformation. But I love artists who do use themselves as a sort of muse or a subject or a reference. I love Frida Kahlo, and I love these artists, and I do that. So maybe I might be using myself as a reference, but I'm not painting me. And I think there's a difference between doing a self-portrait and using me as reference. And I think that kind of shows it here. I think it's all about intention. It's also about being like, you know what? This isn't a self-portrait, but I am using myself as a reference to do a study of Suzanne Valadon and also, talk about, the meaning of the piece as well. And so that's what I'm doing. And I don't... Talking shit on the internet, so wild. Okay, let's do it right now. I wasn't a big fan of my art professor last semester. But I will say that, sort of me telling him my vision, and he sort of helped me sort of examine the Suzanne Valadon pieces I was working off of, I think was a really big help. And I'm very appreciative to him of that. And that is all I can say about that. And so that's what I'm working on. This piece actually is the longest I've ever worked on a piece. Like, it's been like over a month. Like, that is wild to me. And I'm going back and I'm revising and things like this. And, I want to keep in mind what is said in the book of, like, art is never finished. You just, like, choose to let go. And I think that there's definitely many iterations of the piece and things like that. But I would say like I would say like not like almost halfway done, and it's almost been 2 months. And I think that specific growth, I think, I'm very appreciative of, because I think also my ADHD, again, bringing back executive functioning, I guess, with art, is like, I get anxiety starting and finishing pieces. And so the fact that I can work on this for like longer than a week or longer than a day is, I think, I'm very proud. And I think that it's definitely something that I'm excited for it to be done. When I say, excuse me, when I say it's done, and I'm very proud of the piece. I think this is the strongest works I've done, and I think that, the growth that I'm seeing from starting doing art in college to sort of like ending my art classes is really, really amazing, and it's awesome, and I feel like I've grown so much in those 2 years. And it's just really cool to see the improvement. And I think sometimes as artists we sell ourselves short, and so it's nice to take a moment and just like appreciate the fact that like I am going back in a piece and fixing it and working on it, and I've been working on this for almost 2 months. And I take breaks, and I don't have a canvas stand, so it's a little hard to work on it. So I only work on it for like 30 minutes a day. But like, hey, that's something, and I think that the time and the patience, I think, is paying off, I think. And yeah, and I mean, like, and I can do whatever I want with it. Like, I can leave the rest of the body to be like this faded, like washed out sort of lighter skin tone if I wanted to, and make the color more richer in the front of the body. And I can do whatever I want with it. It's I don't know, I just feel like I have so much fluidity with this piece than I do with other ones, and I don't know why. I'm sure I'll figure it out, but yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. I don't have anything else. That bird sounds like it's screaming. That's wild. But that's it. That's all I have to say. I guess this was like a little bonus video. I just did it off the cuff. Wanted to give an update, wanted to give my experience. Again, I don't really have a lot of people who watch, and that's fine. It's nice, kind of. It's kind of like screaming in the void. But hey, if anyone has anything to say. Now I'm getting shy, I'm getting nervous. Don't look at me. But yeah, that's it. Definitely watch my Palestine video where I talk about Palestinian artists I really like. Actually, you don't have to, but I think you should definitely educate yourself. As you can see, I did buy a keffiyeh. I bought one for me and my friend. I bought one from a Palestinian shop on Etsy, because I do know that the one working factory in Gaza is always they always get out of stock fast, which I think is a good thing. But I did buy a keffiyeh from someone who is Palestinian, so I would go on Etsy and I would just look up like keffiyeh, and I would go buy one from someone who is Palestinian. Actually, let me like read you the business card. Yeah, let me just do it live. I'm not gonna stop it. F it, we ball. Okay. It's on my door. Yeah, it's called PalestinianImports.com. I'm thinking about buying a pink one, because I think a pink one is like super cute. I think that would be like super cute. But I wasn't sure, so I just wanted to buy the original. And then of course, like this thing that happens where like you're not sure of something, and so you do it, and then you get more information after you do it. So I wasn't sure if it was disrespectful. I think it's kind of silly to say out loud now, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, I would love to get a pink one. I think, love pink. But yeah, that's it. I mean, what is there to say other than, my experience? And it's not really a strong one, and I think that's okay. But yeah. There's nothing else to say. I just, for the first time and forever, I have nothing to yap about. I have nothing to say. Wow. But yeah, oh, and let me give a book update because I've been doing The Artist's Way. I think I'm going to read my first Angela Davis book in July. And I think instead of reading, because I have Women Race and Class by Angela Davis, and then after that book is Braiding Sweetgrass. I don't know what the author's name is, and I can't see it from here because my eyes are kind of poor without my glasses on. And I think I'm just going to go on a Angela Davis book dump and just, like, read all of them. And so my second book, I think it will be Freedom is a Constant Struggle, because she specifically talks about Palestine. And I'm definitely going to read some books about Palestine for sure. That's it. That's all I have to say. And, I'll see you the 30th. Bye!